everyone, welcome to another installment of Manic episodes. Today we're talking about cop rock. Now, if you've heard anything about cop rock, you're probably laughing right now. If you haven't heard anything about cop rock, here's the gist of it. Cop rock is a procedural cop show from the 1990s with one small quirk that sets it apart. It's also a musical.
Don't mess with my pursuit of happiness. I've got the plastic, I'm A-OK. Just write your ticket, fax it to my CPA.
If you're laughing now and thinking there's no chance in hell a show like that could ever be taken seriously, you've got pretty much the same mindset as the audience in 1990. The show was mocked endlessly before the first episode even aired. When you think of failed television shows, it's usually either this or Manimal that comes up, and at least Manimal sounded somewhat plausible. Contrary to popular belief, though, the show lasted a lot longer than anyone thought it would. A whole 11 episodes. 11 glorious episodes. Why then did a show like this ever get conceived, much less make it to our televisions? It makes a little more sense when you look at it from a behind-the-scenes perspective. Stephen Bochco, who created the series, was also the creator of such successful shows as LA Law and Hill Street Blues. This also explains why characters from those shows were known to occasionally cameo in cop rock. Since he'd had success in the cop/legal show genre, it only made sense that he'd try his hand at it again. At the same time, some dark mystical force was trying to start a new genre of television that involved taking proven formulas and adding musical numbers to it. And so, cop rock was born. The one other musical show from that time was called Whole High and set in high school. But who ever heard of a musical set in high school being successful? Am I right? Let's hit the nail right on the head here. The formula doesn't work, at least not for this genre. Frankly, it's hard to make memorable, well-done tunes for a TV show week after week anyway, but cop rock seemed to run out of ideas right off the bat. The thing is, I was willing to buy it. If the series had gone the route you imagine it took, which is wacky musical numbers and high-stakes drama, it probably would have been more successful. But really, the musical numbers are, for the most part, fairly tame, and the cop drama part of the show was actually not too bad for the time. The problem is that the two things didn't blend with each other. The musical numbers are just as jarring and out of place as you'd expect, and if you cut them out of the show, it wouldn't be any worse for the wear. The cop drama actually works, and the musical numbers seem forced in where they don't belong. The dialogue also needs some work at times.
How bad do you want this?
How bad does a shark want a drowning fat man?
I liked the episode titles because they seem to have fun with them. Some of my favorites include Copophiliac, A Three-Corpse Meal, and No Noose is Good News. Yes, those are all real. As for the musical numbers, most of them are fairly bland, but some of them are memorable. A few of note include when the jury starts singing like a gospel choir.
Sonny, the end is coming. I was abused as a child. Sonny, the end is near. I was confused in every way. Now you got some hard times coming. He didn't know right from wrong. To you, my dear, I want to make it clear. I want to thank the jury. And I'd like to thank my wife. He's been a criminal all his life. What are you going to say for me?
I hate love.
God, I hate love. I hate love.
Perfection.
You know I'm talking about. Beauty is my stock in trade. We're going for. I'll make you perfect in every way.
This thing. And a song about working out.
Now all of a sudden I gotta get in shape, or else they're gonna leave me behind. It may be their idea of living, but brother, you know it's not mine.
You gotta use it or lose it. No pain, no gain.
Sometimes you gotta sacrifice.
No more peanut butter, no more mayonnaise.
It's the last call for cholesterol.
The lyrics go from catchy to painful, mostly on the painful side.
Life in the hood ain't no piece of pie. Anybody can die when the bullets
She had skin like satin and a heart like stone. She played me sweeter than a saxophone. Now if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen for the last time. I'll quit your bitching. I wanna go bumpty bumpty. I wanna go whoa 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 whoa. I wanna go bumpty bumpty, bumpty bumpty with you. Ooh ooh.
Also, it's hard to ignore that sometimes a musical number is just not appropriate.
Sandman's coming soon, you know he's coming soon.
Why, Lord? I'm asking you why, Lord? Must be in the sense of my Lord. How many must die, Lord? Must they die? When I saw you fall, couldn't believe it. After all that we've been through, we both know this job, you either love it or leave it, but I couldn't go on without you.
And Randy Newman does the theme song. If you can make out the lyrics, good for you. However, when you let yourself go, some of the songs can be fun, and there's one song in particular I actually thought was very good.
And I know how I look, what I know about life comes out of a book, but of all of the people there are in the world, she chose me.
The storyline between Ralph and Vicky is probably my favorite, at least up until the end. The two of them are husband and wife and have their share of marital problems, but I like the fact that they put those two together and didn't play it for comic relief. In fact, most of the storylines are very serious, the main plot thread being one of the cops who murders a suspect and gets put on trial. The only really comedic storylines can be attributed to the mayor. Ignoring the fact that her hair can take over small rooms, her main story is that she wants to run for senator, but she's too ugly to do so. I'm dead serious. She undergoes plastic surgery that makes her nose smaller, and apparently she's the most beautiful woman on earth after that, which leads to a romance with the police chief. The chief, from what I can tell, was a cowboy or something. Look, he only has one or two musical numbers. I really didn't pay that much attention to him. I mean, except when they did this half-baked he's a racist plot that lasted like 2 episodes before he's pelted with food. Some characters are also randomly there, but seem to have no real purpose, like this guy.
I'm just another one of the guys.
What did he do? He was a main character, but I swear I only remember him doing anything in like 2 episodes. There's also this chick, who's supposed to be a new character, but she does nothing except pretend to be a hooker.
I'm all dressed up and I got nowhere to go.
I really liked the police captain because he wasn't really played for laughs, and they left him morally ambiguous most of the time. He loves his family, but he disappoints them. He's constantly letting criminals go to get to the bigger picture, and he's usually in a terrible mood, but he tries to be fair with the cases. He also sounded like the Folgers coffee guy when he sang.
Sleep, little boy, your daddy's home. Dream, little boy, I'm right beside you.
I liked seeing the interaction between Vicky and her partner. It was a nice relationship up until it started getting weird. The two of them seemed very sweet. Most of the characters were likable, even the ones that were intended as bad guys. Now, I have to talk about the ending of Cop Rock, because that's probably the biggest elephant in the room right now. I have this nagging feeling that the makers of Cop Rock started filming an episode and only found out that they were cancelled just before wrapping up. Okay, Scylla Road so far. The episode begins with the rogue cop coming back to work after being pronounced not guilty for shooting that suspect in cold blood, which he totally did do. The cop who turned him in leaves the force, Vicky and Ralph are threatening separation due to Vicky's feelings for her partner Andy, and Mayor McBighair is making her run for senator while forgiving the police chief for being racist, and helping her assistant have confidence now that he's been outed as gay. I'm sure there's some other storyline about an evil twin in a coma and some rich relative on the brink of death in there somewhere. Anyway, with none of these storylines really wrapped up, the show goes into its final commercial break. And then this happens.
I can't believe they cancel us.
Yeah, I know. I only got to sing one song.
2.
Excuse me, one.
No, 2. You sang that one song here in the office, what do you call it? How to Love a Woman, and the song in the dream sequence where they hang me in my underwear.
Yeah, but that wasn't my song, that was Carl's.
Oh, well, you still got to sing in it. I only got one song the whole time.
Well, you're not really a singer.
What do you mean I'm not really a singer? I started in this business as a singer. Well, I guess it ain't really over till the fat lady sings.
Set out to give you something you ain't never seen before. At times of our lives, busting through a brand new door.
I'm not kidding, they just give up and go made on us. They don't even make an attempt to end anything. That's not an ending, that just means that they didn't care anymore. Fault cop rock all you want, but I commend them for actually trying most of the time. For every butch partner has the hots for what's-his-face story, there was a lot more fleshed out, help the drug addict get her baby back stories. But that ending, that's just sad. You're giving in to what the audience expected, cop rock. With all of that said, was cop rock really that bad? It certainly could have been worse. I enjoyed it for the most part, and if it had been a little less disjointed, well, it still would have bombed, but at least the people involved could say that they put in their best effort. In the end, I recommend the show for the curious, but don't expect anything incredibly zany. If you're a fan of Hill Street Blues and the like, cut out the musical numbers, and cop rock is about as good as any other procedural cop drama. But as for viewers like me, I wouldn't have the show any other way.
Goodbye.